Welcome to Surviving Together, everybody. That will be our new intro. I had to manually play it though, so I don't know quite how to have it be automatic yet, but we'll figure that out. I want you all to give hugs and love to Awaken to the Looking Glass, our good friend Misha. She made that, and all with AI. I think it's incredible. It's just absolutely fabulous and wonderful. So I thank her so much for doing that. Um, Hi Janet, how you doing? Not sure how many people we're going to have today because we did have. Hi Donna. It was Steve Molesky's memorial service today. It just ended a few minutes ago, so I'm not sure how many people will be joining us today because of that. Um, it's kind of a heavy day. Um, Shannon, welcome. Todd, welcome. Can you guys hear me okay? And my voice is a little rough with all the emotion earlier. Um, so let me know. Give me a 5x5 if you can hear me okay. Thanks. Great. Thanks, Janet. So, um, what I wanted to talk about today, um, that's wonderful, Donna. Hey, you got out of the house. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. We all need that. So, Jen live streamed it on her channel, so you can catch it on the replay. Hi, Crystal. How you doing? Um, yeah, don't worry that you missed it. It cuts in and out a little bit, so on replay you can kind of fast forward through the times where we didn't have some internet there. But it was a nice service. It was, um, it's always harder on us who are left behind. And I thought, we spent so much time talking about trauma and talking about healing from our trauma. Sometimes we don't look up and look around, and see the people who are around us, who are here, who are supporting us. And, we support each other just by our presence. And I think sometimes we need to step back and celebrate that. Remember that, yeah, we're all going through things and we have trying times, but we're here because we are survivors. Each and every one of us truly, we've survived whatever it is that is life has thrown our ways thus far. We're still here. We're still fighting every day. And I'm so glad that you all joined me. Todd, welcome. Thanks for wrenching today. Appreciate it very, very much. I hope everyone else is doing wonderful on this Saturday. I got out of the house actually last night, and other than just going to a friend's house, I actually got out. So I went to a club that I'd been promising a friend that I would go to for quite a long time, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm very glad that I went. It only happens once a month, but the evening that they have at this club, so gonna try and go next month too. It was a interesting, very eclectic group of people at this very small bar. Getting some work done today, Crystal. That's wonderful. I have not. I have laundry to do. I will be doing that post haste after this live, most likely. Yes, Todd, please post your channel. Please post your link. And anyone else that has a channel, please let us know, and we will post a link there as well. We want to support each and every one of you as you guys support us. I talked to Todd briefly about his channel, and he says that it's a kind of a little bit of everything right now. He's not locked into any one thing, so if he figures out more of a theme for it, he'll let us know. But other than that, if you go on, you can kind of expect to see just about anything. Who knows what the day will bring? So maybe they'll announce it on his thumbnails. Didn't get a thumbnail up for this today. I was a little late in getting everything up with it. But I thank you guys for being here. It's especially after a service like that, it kind of takes it out of you. And oh, anytime, Todd, anytime. Every single live that we have, please feel free to throw it up. Absolutely. We want to support everybody. So, does anybody have anything in particular that they want to talk about? I will take suggestions. If anybody wants to go through anything, be happy to do that. I just wanted to leave it open today to talk about whatever's in your heart. My heart is filled with love. It's filled with love, compassion, some heartache. Janet, feel free to share. Would you like to come on screen? If you want to come on screen with me, I'll be happy to put the link up. Otherwise, feel free to just type whatever and we will talk about that. I'll take input from anybody else that knew him. I didn't know him for very long. I knew him through Jen. He suffered from alcoholism for a lot of his life, but he got sober and brought God into his life. That was a big changing point for him. He has 2 grown sons, young in their 20s, I believe. He and Vicky have been married, I think, for 30 years, almost 30 years it was going to be, in August, I believe. So they'd been together a real long time, and she stood by him in thick and thin, and he couldn't have asked for a more solid rock than her, especially during these last 4 or 5 months of his life. Apparently he absolutely loved pie. It was his favorite kind of dessert, and he didn't have a particular love for anyone. I think it was kind of whatever one was in front of him at the moment, but he loved savory pies and he loved dessert pies. And he just had a heart as big as the sun, Carol, I'm not sure why I froze. I've got internet. Am I frozen for anybody else? Okay, on yours. That must be on your end then, Todd. He, generally knew him for, I think it was about Thanksgiving, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so less than 6 months. But she lived right around the corner. She lives right around the corner from Henry Ford Hospital. So when he would come there from Flint, they would transport him down from their local hospital up there to Henry Ford, since it was bigger, and that's where the transplant unit was. He was waiting for a heart. Unfortunately, he didn't get one before the infections became too much. He was having trouble breathing. He was getting fluid in his lungs, but he touched a lot of lives on the lifeboat and through needing a meeting. He just brought love to everybody. He didn't forget things. Carol shared at the memorial, he called her on her 30th sober day, the day she was sober for 30 years. And it's just little things like that he would remember for people. And, that can mean all the world. Because these are, a lot of times, there are milestones. And other people don't know about them unless we share and that he would always take the time to check in on you. He would always be the first on the boat when he was active on there to welcome people onto the boat, new people, people he didn't recognize, names he didn't recognize. And Jen would call me sometimes from the hospital room and call to share with me being there with Steve. So it was actually on Steve's last day on Earth that I actually had the pleasure to meet him in person. And he couldn't talk much, but he didn't need to. He knew who I was. He reached for my hand. That's all that needed to be said. Misha knew him a lot better. She knew him for a lot longer. It was, but I was honored. That was the first day that both Jen and I had gotten to meet Vicky in person and met her parents, one of their sons. Steve's sister stopped by while we were still there. And Misha, would you like to share anything about Steve? I think out of the group who's here right now, you probably knew him best. I've spoken about what I've heard about him. And he just was a really special person to touch people so much. You know, Jen, in these last months getting to know him, I know this really, really struck her. He was like the big brother she did not have. And they became very close. So Misha says, his love was so much, his heart was so big that it truly amazed us all. He will live on forever in ours. That is true. Some say he needed a new heart because his was so big that it was just stretching too much from all the people that he brought into his life. We're all his angels now, yeah. He used to call you and Christy and Carol and Stacia his angels on needing a meeting. I believe that's and so we mourn for everyone who's still here. He was not scared of dying, although he would have chosen to be here longer if he could. He was not concerned at all about passing on. His concern was for everyone who was left behind. He in his heart knew where he was going with his God. He had his beliefs. And it's always the ones who are left behind that it's the hardest for. You have friends who say that about you, Todd. That's beautiful. Cosmic, so glad you're here. Sandy, I think I saw your name. Izzy, here? Izzy, there you are. Hi, Izzy. Kristen, Melinda, welcome. Thanks for being here today. Misha says she woke up not long after he passed, bawling your eyes out. I never do that. And all of a sudden, I felt his and Christina's presence, like they were giggling. They were telling me they found each other. Right before Jen got the call, it was a little after 1 in the morning, Saturday, early morning. She had a dream, and Steve was sitting on the edge of her bed and took her hand and held it, just kind of like telling her everything was okay. And she woke up, and Vicky called and let us know that he had passed. Whatever your belief systems are, things like that happening make me believe that there's something beyond. I have no idea what. I don't know. Designed by who. But it just does seem that our spirit, our essence, our soul may exist. It may live on. Yeah, you take care of your heart, Todd. We don't want to have to be waiting around for a transplant for you. Good. You need to make sure to take care of yourself. So, like I said to everyone before, I didn't have a whole lot planned because I knew this is coming right on the heels of the service. But I wanted to take the opportunity to celebrate life, to celebrate all of our struggles, what we've gone through, what we have had to walk through to get to the point where we are now. Because each and every one of us are survivors in our own right. And I'm so thankful that I have made it this far. I'm so thankful that each and every one of you are here. Donna says it has to be true. I lost my grandmother when she was my age, and still feel her on your tough days. Yeah, don't think so. Oh, I guess I did. Sorry. Sean's just grabbing laundry. Struggling with celebrating and feeling guilty for that. I don't because I know that's what he would be wanting us to do. I feel my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, I know that they're my guardian angels. I feel them most often when I'm driving. I don't know what this says about my driving, but I'll jerk my head real suddenly to look behind me in my blind spot, and there'll be a car coming there. And just things like that. I just know that they're always helping me out on the road. Steve set an example of his creator's love. I hope when I leave, I'm able to leave enough crumbs that others want, for others, to want to know what made me different, that kept me going. The difference like Steve did. He sure did. He had such a big heart and such a belief in what he believed in that he had no concerns about doing his crossover. And I'm not going to speak, about religion in terms of, whatever you happen to believe. That's fine, Stacia. Glad you'll just be listening in the background. Please spend time with the little one. we definitely need to spend time with those that we care about. And Steve would want you to as well. Celebrating life, truly. I think that's what all of us want, don't we? For people to look back on us and go, you know, I miss her or I miss him because they were so good and they were such a part of my life. They cared so much. That's all I want. I know that I've messed up in my life. I know I wasn't the parent that I could have been. We all are just trying to do better each day, working through our traumas and hoping that we can get to a point where we're content with ourselves. You know, I don't know that healing is ever done. There's probably always more that we're going to be able to be doing, working on ourselves, and because none of us are ever going to be perfect, but hopefully there'll be a point where we're content with who we are. And I think at that point, you can truly bring an effect on others because you have taken that deep breath yourself. They just said she asked Steve what his superpower was, and he said making everyone smile. Yeah. He definitely I don't think that I can play this. It's not a link for me right now to be able to play, so people will just have to copy that and play it. I don't know if I can. Nope, it's not letting me. It's trying to copy and paste just the link from there, but it's not letting me, so I won't be able to share it. Thanks, Janet. We appreciate it very much. I feel all of your presence, and it's very warming, very loving. You know, this is the happiest of lives, the jovialest of lives, but thinking maybe coming on tomorrow and doing something that's a little happier. I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about some other subject that I've just been wanting to talk about. Today's getting through. Okay, yeah, I don't have it. You'd have to send it to my account, Misha. I have to send it to Surviving Together, and I will get it with Todd. We will definitely figure out how to post that. Hugs and love to everyone today. You know, not living our past, just living forward. I'm trying. Misha, aren't we all? We all we can is do our best every day. Some days are going to be better than others. That's just true. Some days just are going to suck. That's the way life goes, right? It may be because things got thrown at you. It may be because you're just not feeling good that day, mentally, physically, emotionally. Midnight Show, welcome. I'm glad you're here with us today. I didn't have a a theme other than I knew this was coming on the heels of Steve's service. So today is just about being here for each other. If anybody has anything that they want to say, whether it's about Steve or whether it's on any topic, anything, if something happened this week that you wanted to speak about, if anybody wants to come on screen, let me know. I will share the link. Just want to be here for each other today. It's excuse me. Thanks, Kristen. I love you too. Love to everyone in Steve's family. Yes. Can everyone throw some ones up for Jen? She not only was at Steve's funeral today, Jen had 2 other funerals that she attended this week. She's had 5 people close to her die in the last 4 weeks. So she's had it a little rough. She's getting a little tired of death. So we'll just send her lots of hugs and love. Thanks for doing the stream and for getting through. Now, granted, at least 2 of the people I know of were much older. They lived their lives. They lived full lives. So it's not an unexpected thing, let's say. But again, it's hardest for those who are left behind. We're the ones who miss them. We're the ones who grieve. And I'm so thankful. Steve was 56, 58, somewhere in there. I'm not 100% sure, but I know he wasn't too terribly much older than Jen. And Jen's a few years older than I am. So, yeah, I know. Isn't it? I say so young. Gosh, remember when you were 20 years old and 50 or 60 sounded like forever in the future? That was old. You were 60, you were old. I saw a t-shirt and on it said, "It's really strange being the same age as old people." Sure. We have to get pie for Steve.
What?
We have to get pie for Steve. Celebrating Steve's life. His funeral was today. He loved pie.
Look at pizza.
No, silly.
I said pizza.
Oh, Donna, I'm so sorry. I'm imagining they probably died in a crash, or the 2 individual funerals. 7 and 2. That is just way, way, way too young. That gets into burying your kids, and we feel like we never should do that. Even if you're 80 and they're 60, you still feel that's just your child. You never want to bury your child. I think of that all the time, especially now that my son's drafting age. So if anything ever happens in the next 20, 30 years, he's right on that. Now, what is PFP? I'm not sure what that is. Can you spell that out for us, Misha? Prayers for Peace is the only thing I can think of, and I don't know if it's something like that or Jen just sent me a pic of the only slice of pie left on the dessert table. That's perfect. Plant Freak is with her wee one. She's lurking. Christina was only 26. Oh. 7-year-old died of a heart attack in the dentist's chair. Oh my gosh. That's... And the 2-year-old died in a freak accident. Her dad went into a diabetic coma and fell on her and crushed her. Oh my goodness. Profile pic. Okay, got it. That is just... Yes, we're having pizza pie for dinner, and then I told Sean we're going to have to go to the store and grab actual pie. I'm thinking turtle pie. That has got to be one of my favorites. It's chocolate graham cracker crust with like this creamy center part with chocolate and fudge on it, and it's just decadent. But it's so good. I'm going to gain about 5 pounds eating it because I probably will eat almost all of it. You've got pie in the fridge already. Ugh, I didn't plan. I went to the store yesterday and I was not planning for the funeral. Extra hugs and love, Misha. Extra hugs and love. Yes, I'm in the U.S. I know the draft ended, but you never know if they're going to reinstate it. Who knows what's going to happen? If China invades Thailand and this Middle East heats up even more, you never know what's going to happen. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Leftover from Easter. Ugh, you love it. Exactly, Shannon. You never know about the draft. You never know what's going to happen. And I worry about it with him being that age. And he definitely, he's off his going into the military kick right now, but he certainly would not shy away from serving, I think. Conscription is the worst way to build an army. It is. But if you need bodies, you need bodies, right? If we can't fight our war with the people that we have, hopefully, obviously you take volunteers first, see what you get with that. I know that there were, when Operation Desert Storm started, with the Iraq War, I know that a lot of people did volunteer and a lot of people signed up, and it continued for several years after that. There was a large swell in the ranks of the military just because of people volunteering. Coast Guard would be safest. Yeah, I don't know. It can be in Lake Michigan. That draft ended at the end of Vietnam. Yes, it did. My dad was not drafted. He was in the ROTC in college, and as soon as he graduated college, he went into the Marines, went to boot camp, and then was shipped off. So I went to boot camp, and my parents had their official wedding. They had a small wedding at college, and they were pregnant with my brother, and they had their official wedding, and my dad shipped off shortly after that. So I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know if he was here for the birth or not. I'll have to ask my mom that. I know she was living with her parents and getting help from them. Your dad was on an aircraft carrier in World War One and Korea, Shannon says. Wow. My dad flew Hueys helicopters. He always loved being a pilot. It's what he had wanted to do. He graduated college with a degree in aircraft engineering, aircraft mechanics. And so flying was what he wanted to do. And he ended up most of the time flying medevac. So he would pick up the wounded from the coast and he would fly them to the aircraft carrier hospital that was waiting offshore, mainly in Okinawa, where he was stationed there. So he lived on the aircraft carrier, I believe, and yeah, he flew a lot of people back and forth. So he witnessed a lot of deaths because not everybody made it who he could get out, and that had to be hard. Think MASH, when the helicopters came in with the people on each side. Navy not always safe, subs, planes, and suicide boats. Yeah. Yeah. Hugs. Yes. Hugs and love to all of our people who served in the military. We thank you for your service. My dad he had wanted to actually stay in the military when they came back, but they cut ranks because they didn't need the people anymore. Most people were happy to be cut, and he wanted to stay, but he ended up getting a good job, General Motors, as an engineer, and stayed there for the next 25 years and was in the reserves. Spent 2 weeks out in 29 Palms, out in the desert, Arizona or New Mexico. I think Arizona. And did that 2 weeks every year, faithfully. Once a weekend, he went to the armory and did his whatever he needed to do. So I do remember my dad coming home with his bag, dressed in his fatigues, and he looked very comfortable in them. Let's put it that way. I spent many an evening at the armory because he was doing something with the reserves. And Shannon says, my dad never talked about it. Many service people don't talk about it. No, my dad doesn't. He still doesn't. He will not. He will talk about the people he was around, the people who was with. He's got pictures of, them all at the camp or whatnot. He was stationed in the Philippines for a little while. He will tell you what he did in terms of, yes, I was a medevac pilot, or, I did this there. And he'll talk about the good times and the fun things that they did, or how they managed to get this or that, but he will not talk about the actual war part of it. Not even if you ask him directly. My dad has never kept a diary. I encouraged him to do some video journaling at least, or at least some audio. It's his story. I'd love for him to tell it. I'd love for him to tell his story since he was a little kid. He's a product of two very Polish Catholic immigrants. And so he's 100% proud Polish Catholic. He converted, though, he converted to Judaism for my mom when they got married. Your father, Janet, was an airplane navigator in World War I, and your dad was in World War II. Wow. Dastardly saboteur. Welcome. He was in World War II, not Korea. Got it. Yeah. My dad was just in Nam, and he was there for, I think, a little over 3 years. My brother was about 3.5 when he came home, and I know that was hard on him. I know my mom said he came back different. He, of course, had PTSD. I don't think there's a single person who came back from Nam without PTSD. And I would bet anything the percentage of who have gotten help over the years is maybe 10%. I'd bet you anything. It's just a generation that did not deal with mental illness, did not deal with emotions, emotional problems. I think if any of them did get help, it was in their later years as they were either getting sober from substance abuse or had gotten to a point where they just said, enough's enough. I'm tired of feeling this way. I need to feel something different. And they ended up getting into some sort of therapy. Yes, seventh. Seventh says, please embrace my friend and their family whose hearts today overflow with grief, unanswered questions, and such a sense of loss. Please grant them space to express their tears and hold them close. We do. Much love. Much love goes out to Vicky, and the boys. I love each and every one of you, and I'm thankful for each of you. Your brother-in-law got stopped from coming back 3 times. Wow. Crystal's dad was in the Royal Canadian Air Force for a few years. He was a heavy-duty mechanic. He never served. Just stayed at the bases in Canada and then went back to the farm when he got too sick. You know, that's like my grandfather with World War II. He served stateside because I think they discovered he had a heart issue or something like that. So he ended up staying back here, and he was a boxer in the Army, actually. You know, they had different it's amazing. They had, you know, they had the boxing, they had the singing groups, they had the orchestras, and you know, all sorts of things to keep themselves entertained, all sorts of different groups, things you just don't think about with war. We are so thankful for you guys, each and every one of you. We will have pie in honor of Steve. Put up a 4 if you saw the intro. I want to see if that actually played for you as you were waiting here. I don't know that anybody else was here early enough to see it other than Janet. So Janet, tell me, Todd, you saw it? You did see it. Great. Awesome. Well, we will figure out how to get it as an automatic intro. It's a little over a minute, so that will be our countdown. We might, oh, no worries, no worries. It'll play again. Maybe we'll post that. Misha, what do you think about posting that on Discord under my channel? We could post it there just so people can see it. Yes, every Saturday, except for one Wednesday I missed, but every Wednesday at 7 and Saturday at 3, I come on. And I know I didn't have a thumbnail started early enough. I had kind of forgot about that. Your dad diffused minds. Holy moly. Oh, wow. That's just, you know, it's so sad that in Nam and Cambodia and Laos, there are still places that are no-go zones because they're minefields. And it takes so much to diffuse them and because they're planted like every few feet. It takes so much time and so much energy and money that instead they've just blocked off areas. It's just wow. You know, and that there are still people who end up walking through areas and getting light blown off by a mine or something like that because of just, stuff that's gotten left behind. Okay, thanks, Misha. Yeah, you can post there and we can figure it out. Your work, so you're in Boston now and you're flying back to Miami tonight. Wow. What do you do for a living, Shannon? Very curious. Only if you're comfortable. Oh my gosh. Todd says my uncle used to walk a minefield with a snake. The snake would constrict when he was close to one. Craziest thing your dad ever told you. That is wild. Flight attendant. Well, that makes sense why you're flying all over now, doesn't it? I know this coloring isn't so great. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm blending in. Um, I'm in the bedroom so that John can use the TV. Trying to be kind. Isn't that nuts? I mean, I look good in blue. I want to maybe later I'll show you guys my t-shirt. See if I can show you. But here's the front of my t-shirt. I know it looks backwards, but it says "You matter" with a smiley face. And I love this shirt. On the back it says, "To the person standing behind me, you are beautiful, strong, worthy, lovely, kind." It's all these things for the person standing behind you. So I love the shirt from the moment I saw it. Oh, really? Wow. Misha, how many kids do you have? It is blue. Yeah. I could go into the thing and see about monkeying with the settings a little bit, but for some reason this is quite blue today. I don't know if you guys can still see me while I look at this. That looks better. Let's see if we can move brightness up. Not quite that bright. Let's see if we move this down, if that helps. No, that doesn't really help. I think we're just blue. Oh, now we're gray. Now we're really blue. Should we be aqua blue today? It's very blue. Now I'm just going to white. Yeah, it looks like I could get gray or white. Oh. Looky there. The auto whiteness. Now I look like I have a little bit more color in my face than the wall, which I do. Yeehaw. How's that, guys? A little bit better? Whoa! You like the first way? Your eyes can't take this? Close your eyes and listen to us. I'm still looking blue? Can't win today. Can't win. Guys, see all my white up here, my hair? So all my white is on the top. The underneath is like not. I don't have white underneath the thing, but I saw a shirt and says this is not gray here. Well, I didn't get gray. I just went straight white. But this is called Wisdom Glitter. I thought that was pretty cool. You had to mess with the filters to get me not so blue in the intro. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. I'll keep working on it. You like the aqua? That was really, really aqua-y blue, wasn't it? Are you rather white than gray? I think so too. Um, the funny thing about this is I was thinking about putting some color into my hair, and I was thinking about hot pink. The thing about that is since this is all white hair, if I did hot pink in my hair, all this white is basically bleached hair, right? So all this white would go pink. And I think that that would look pretty cool, actually. I mean, I might get a few sideways glances when I go into court, but whatever, right? I did have one like section that I had that was hot pink for a while when my mom was going through her breast cancer, and I had to go to court, so I just kind of went like this, and I was hiding it underneath. But then when, much love to you as well. I think pink would look good. I like the pink. I think I will. I'm I'm gonna have to do it at home. I did red a couple of years ago, and it was at my cousin's house, and she has a white tub. And even though we were just rinsing and we were rinsing it all, it still stained the tub. I, so I'll try and do it like in my utility sink. That's something that I don't care about. Although I think I'm going to need to remodel my kitchen or bathroom anyway, so maybe that won't. But I don't want to stain somebody else's tub. After you went bald, it came back without the gray. So you have like all colored. You have all regular colored hair now. Wow, that is nuts. You met a cardiac rehab that dyed his beard blue. Have you seen the guy who is blue? Seriously, like blue, and kind of grayish because he's been drinking colloidal silver for so long. It's supposed to be good for you, but maybe at low doses, but he's been drinking it so long that he's permanently dyed. His skin is blue now. Look him up. Your oldest did purple when she was 14. She looked like a little pixie. Ah, how cute. You've never had a problem with dying in the tub. Huh. See, now my mom is green, blue, purple, red, yellow, pink. I told her she looks like a walking pride flag because to say she looked like a clown would be mean. So we say she looks like a walking pride flag. I like purple. I like purple too. I'd probably get away in court with purple much better. But I think the pink. I think the lighter of the pink will did. Yeah, fire engine red. So that's what I did with my cousins, and was it was supposed to be a semi-permanent thing, but because of my white hairs, it was permanent until the hair grew out. We had red in there. Yellow and pink would be too light for your face. Yeah, I think she's got those in the back, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember, but yeah, she's got condition the tub. You mean like put conditioner on the tub? Like a layer of that? Ooh, what if you put like Crisco down? Put like a layer of Crisco on the tub? Do you think that would be, that might help, right? You say condition, I just think of like seasoning your pan or something. You think pink would look? Yeah, I think it does. I think it does look good with my skin tone. I look better with a tan. Of course, I'm sure that I'm killing my skin, but otherwise I tend to look a little washed out. Arctic blonde. No way, Janet. No way. Your hair is that long? I guess I've just always seen it up. I had no idea your hair was that long. I had hair down to my waist when I was like 11, like third grade, fourth grade, something like that. It was just such a pain. Same concept, just use hair conditioner. Okay, yeah, you can get like $1 Suave, whatever, and just hey Jen, how are you, love? You missed it, but we threw up lots of ones for you. Vaseline too. Yes, that would be good. Yes, please just listen while we drive. Tree hugging Buddhist, welcome. We're so glad you're here. We are just kind of chatting today. Knew this was going to be coming on the heels of Steve's memorial, so as the thumbnail says, as we say goodbye, just talking about good memories of Steve, if you have them, if you knew him, and also just talking a little bit about the grief process in general, about letting go of those things that we can't change. Obviously, death is one of those, but you have to go through the grieving process. Sometimes it might not happen right away, and you might not shed tears. Everybody grieves differently. It's not going to look the same for everyone. There's 5 stages of grief, and sometimes you can go through multiples at the same time. Sometimes you may be at step, it's not really a step, but you may be in the 4th stage, and you may go back to the 2. It's not linear. It's just like healing. Healing is not linear. We can't expect that we're always going to be on an upward trajectory. Sometimes we're taking those 2 steps back, right? And just flow with it. Flow with it. But allow yourself to feel the grief, because if you don't, that's the same thing as stuffing that trauma inside and leaving it there. And it will find a way out, and it's not going to be good for you the way it finds itself out. So do allow yourself that time, give yourself that space and grace to grieve for whoever it is that you need to, or whatever it is. Sometimes with our trauma, or just as we're aging now, many of us are older, Sure, Jen. I'll go back and read comments. Yeah, Janet, grief is not linear. And grief doesn't have to be for a person. It can be for something you've lost. I mean, maybe an ability that you've lost. Maybe you used to be able to do something and you can't do it anymore. Or you've lost the use of doing nimble things with your hands like you used to. I know my hands get a little more shaky than they used to be, so doing really fine things is a little bit more difficult for me, and that can be really frustrating. It can be very frustrating. But again, those are things that we can grieve. If the things that we can't get back and they're just gone from us, allow yourself to be grieving about it, be upset about it. Okay. Let's go back for Jen and read some of the comments here. Todd said he had pie. He's going to be eating for Steve. We're all going to try and get some pie in. I did play the intro. You missed it, but I'd already sent the intro to Jen, so she has seen it. And it's just absolutely wonderful. Todd said, everything I've heard about Steve has been nothing but positive, and that's true. He just had such a positive impact on so many people. Sandy says, I didn't know him, but when I was new, Steve always said hello on the boat. Yeah, he was always the first one generally to recognize new people, and so welcoming. And he really, I think, took it as a mission to make people smile, to help other people, in their addictions, in their sobriety, and to be there however he could. And if you needed to talk, he would be the first one to say, okay, let's get on the phone and talk. Just a wonderful guy. Misha is thankful that we got to spend time with Steve. And I'm having trouble getting down. Misha says, his love was so much, his heart was so big, it truly amazed us all. He will live forever in ours. And that is true. And we are all his angels now. So Jen, you as well. And Jen, I told the story of you having the dream of Steve coming to you before Vicky called. And Misha had this to say. She woke up not long after Steve passed, bawling her eyes out. She never does that. Then all of a sudden, you felt his and Christina, her daughter's presence, like they were giggling, telling me they found each other. And I think that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, watching out for each other and watching out for Misha. And we spoke about just how amazing it is that so many people have had experiences like that, where they said that they've had a dream about somebody and then they will get a call and say that, so-and-so passed at this time. And, it's like right after that they had been visited by that person. And that's just really amazing, because it's not like they were right there when that person was passing, so that they had somebody on the phone so they knew the exact moment that person was passing. Just does make you wonder. Steve set an example of his Creator's love. I hope that when I leave, I'm able to leave enough crumbs for others to want to know what made me different, that kept me going. And that's what we all should be striving for. Strive to make your mark, whether it's with people who are, in your church, in your neighborhood, in your family. We just try and do good every day. And channel is my way. I'm so thankful for all of you, because without you guys here, this channel would be very lonely. And I love that I can share with you and that you guys get to share with me. And we are celebrating Steve's life with a smile. Lots of ones for you there. Jen's a trooper. Woohoo! Yes, you are. I don't have pizza, or I don't have pie currently in the house, but I am going to go get pie. And we're having pizza pie for dinner. So we're doing double pie in honor. And some of the comments we were talking about, wars, different people with their grandparents or parents who served in different wars. And it's kind of really interesting. You might want to go back and read all those comments later. Different people who've done different things. And I think that's Seventh said, please embrace my friend and his family whose hearts today overflow with grief, unanswered questions, and such a sense of loss. Please grant them space to express their tears, hold them close. And we definitely try. We definitely will try. We'll hold all of you in our prayers. We certainly want the best for everybody. And please, again, do not suffer in silence, guys. If you're hurting, reach out to one of us, whether it's through Discord, whether it's through my email, survivingtogether, SASS@gmail. I'm happy to converse with you. If you need to talk on the phone, let me know. We can jump on the phone. We can jump on a private video stream too. There's support out there. And I think, between all of our channels now, mine, Carol's, Lifeboat, my other's keeper, Mary has a channel, Todd has a channel. We've got a lot of places that you can find people. And of course, Discord and Facebook. We're trying to remember all of the ripples that Steve has created from his life. And we'll keep that going. I'm thinking of dyeing my hair pink, which, Jen, I think you should be there for that. In fact, I think that you should be the one to wear the gloves and do it. So I'm letting you know. We'll get my tattoo too. So, and we were getting some tips on how to not stain your tub, because I stained my cousin's tub red. Well, it's kind of pink now because she's been trying to get it out. It just did not come out. Did not do it. Now, see here, if you want to go color, do like we did in jail, a bit of Vaseline and some Kool-Aid. I tried the Kool-Aid. I tried to do it. And I know the kids can all do it. I don't know why I can't. I just did not stick in. The color didn't stay in my hair. Couldn't get it. It was bummer. Big bummer. And then that's comments. And so then we just got talking about our hair. Steve says, my daughter cut her thigh-length hair when she had a mishap in the public bathroom. I'm going to guess maybe her hair got into the toilet. That's the only thing I could think of that would make you want to cut it. That's interesting. Oh, Todd, I'm so glad that you're doing better. And we are glad that you're here. Misha says, yeah, when she saw Christina and Steve together, they were both watching out for you together now. That's wonderful. I'm so glad. I know that we've lost a number of people, even just this year, from the lifeboat. And that's what I imagine Steve reaching out to each and every one of those people who we've lost from the boat, saying, I'm here now. Todd, very small channel. Well, that's where it starts, right? So's this. We're only 140 subscribers, guys. We're teeny in the grand scheme of things. Yes, hair in the toilet. So it was cut it versus wash it. Yeah, whatever you need to do. Oh, good. I'm glad you have people give you pep talks and cheer you on, call you on your BS. Yeah. Sometimes we can get too stuck in our heads, right? The spirit boat sails on. Hi, Nicola. Yes. He is driving. We got Tommy running the lifeboat down here, and Steve is Steve is running the spirit boat from the beyond, right? Wherever that is. I think that is great. I'll definitely have to let Tommy know that. Oh, fabulous. So, other than feeling our grief and just kind of having a rough go of it, just because of what we've all experienced with that, how is everybody doing in general? Crabs? What are you talking about, Jen? What crabs? I have no idea what you're referring to. Connections are important. They are important to grow as a person. Absolutely, to grow as a person, but to live as a person, right? We were not meant to be solitary. We're pack animals. We're meant to have connections with people. Sharing our love, sharing our gifts with other people. Most anybody who does will tell you that that's more rewarding than getting anything. Getting any, buying something, any physical type of thing, but helping another person, sharing your gifts with other people. That's what's really rewarding. And sharing my time and my space with you guys here, I couldn't imagine another thing to do. Trees, you're a bit stressed because your Spravato treatments are coming to an end. I don't think I have ever heard of that. Is that for depression maybe? Or some emotional thing? I have not heard of that. I'm guessing maybe you're worried that whatever condition that it's helping, that it's just going to come back once the treatments are over with. And is the goal the treatments are supposed to, once the treatments are over with, it keeps it at bay? That's what I'm interested. PTSD and depression. Okay. I can understand you being nervous. I can definitely understand that. I believe the is it something that you have to keep taking in order for it to keep working, or is it a treatment like, I don't know, you go through a series of injections or something and it's supposed to just fix it or change it or whatever? I know nothing about that. Todd lives his life by a medieval code: humility, compassion, fidelity, kindness for others, protecting those who can't protect themselves. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to have to look up this Spravato thing. I do not know anything about it. The hair. Oh, okay. I know. Okay, you were saying maybe that she got something in her hair because of the toilet. Lord only knows. I can understand wanting to cut it versus like just washing it. Blah. At your age, it's hard to achieve a remission from depression. I wonder if that reset button would work. Have you thought of doing any psychedelics? The psilocybin, am I pronouncing that right? I think I am. Somebody is doing ketamine. They should say it's kind of expensive though. But I have seen ads for the mushrooms online. They send you a kit. I don't know how this works because I don't think they can send you the mushrooms. Maybe they send you seeds to grow your own mushrooms. Not 100% sure. Absolutely anxious to feel anxious about that. You tried Lotus Tunes before they approved your Spravato. Is there a reason you can't get more? Have you been on it too long, or they send you spores for the mushrooms? Okay. I'd totally be willing to grow my own if I could. I grew a really great garden once, and that's about the only thing I've been able to grow. Excuse me. I forget to water things is my problem. I end up killing just about everything. I want to get off my depression meds and try some low dose shrooms. I think I need to be totally off everything first. That's going to be a real nerve wracker, I think, trying to get totally off them, having been on them for so long. Definitely working with my doctor, so don't freak out on that. It's usually a 13-week protocol, and you've been on it 8 months. Got it. Is there like a waiting period that you can then go through it again after a number of months? A dark place, yeah. They grow them around you and they stink. Well, as far as mushroom goes, it's getting on morel mushroom season soon. Not quite yet. It's been too cold in Michigan, but it's coming, and I love hunting for them. I don't like eating them so much. They're not my favorite, but my son absolutely loves them. And so I found someone to go mushroom hunting with last year. I've since fallen out of touch with that person, so I think it'd be kind of rude just to call them up and go, hey, want to go mushroom hunting? I know I haven't spoken to you in like 4 months. So we're going to have to find some new place to go mushroom hunting. Nasal spray esketamine. You have chanterelles in the fall. Yeah, I love mushroom hunting. I just think it's so much fun. It's like a hide and seek with mushrooms, right? I just don't know where to grow. I don't know where to go around here. Everyone's got their little hidey spots or whatever. I don't have any place. I don't have any friends with land, so it's kind of just looking wherever, looking in state parks, things like that. You had a lawn and you put in magic mushrooms and it grew all over. Oh my goodness. Those are regular mushrooms that you're talking about with light and, yeah, lots of darkness. I've seen the farms, the mushroom farms, and how they go, and you love treasure hunts too, Misha. Yeah, that's why I think that's why it's so much fun for me. I need to find some people who are going mushroom hunting. I'll have to get back on. Okay, so there's one site, and I didn't know it when I signed up for it, but it's actually like just a hookup site. But that's how I found people to go mushroom hunting with. So on the profile thing, I said, need mushroom hunting buddies. And so that's what it was. So I wasn't looking for a hookup, but I was looking for mushroom hunting buddies. It was pretty fun. Growing mushrooms always stink. I live near Chester County, PA, the mushroom capital of the U.S. There were days when I left my apartment and the smell would hit me and you would almost get sick. That is so strange. You want to go on a real treasure hunt bucket list thing? Absolutely. If you figure out where to go, let me know. I think that would be a blast. I don't know how you would do that. Should we hide something for you? Are you going to go after one of the Civil War things that are like in Missouri or something? Kansas, they say they've got stuff buried in places. There's all sorts of things out there about legends of where things are growing. Mushrooms growing on decomposing trees or other things. Yeah, that's where I tend to see them. the different kinds of mushrooms. I think they're the mushrooms you can't eat when I'm going mushroom hunting. The morels, they don't like growing in the trees, but they like growing kind of, like right under them. They really like apple trees and, oh shoot, elm trees. Those are like their two favorites to be around. You can't do anything moldy. Interesting. Very interesting. Allergic to mushrooms and penicillin. Get rid of anything moldy. Yeah, I guess you would. They like burn zones. I can see. You live in Pennsylvania. Civil War stuff here. Revolutionary War too. That's true. That is true. Todd, we need to see if you know anybody with like some farmland so that we can like go out and dig a few trenches in some places and see what we can find. Do our own archaeology. Maybe with a metal detector. Uh, I think my dad has a really old one, but I think that would be fun. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I drive down for that. 100%. Yeah, Sandy is in Pennsylvania too, I do believe. Transplant from California. Gettysburg to Valley Forge, all kinds of battles. Donna, are you in Pennsylvania? Maybe that's what I was thinking. Treasure hunts like garage sales and old barn buyouts. Absolutely. Crawl through the history. Had an online group, Facebook group for years. Then you lost yourself and let it go. Well, you know what? You're finding yourself again. You're finding yourself again, Michelle. And so maybe you can reach out to those people, see if that Facebook group is still going on. I do love that too. I love garage sales, particularly when I'm looking for something. I want something to go in on this shelf or whatever it is. I'm looking for records for my friend. Anything like that. Very good. I'm there, Todd. I'm there. You name it, I'm there. We're going. You know someone with a farm and you have a metal detector. She's giving you permission to go. I will dig. You can use the metal detector. I will dig. We'll make a homemade screen out of some 2x4 and some screening so that we can actually sift. Wouldn't that be awesome? That would be so much fun. Your youngest is in West Philly. You're in Amish country. Yeah, Sandy's in PA too. Well, we got three of you at least. We could all meet there. Her farm's an original one, circa 1718, waiting for the rain to stop. Wow. That's really cool. Really cool. I get an invite. I'll be down, Todd. Just saying. That sounds like a lot of fun. The beach too, It's kind of fun going like really, really super early in the morning and seeing what all the beachgoers have dropped. I mean, you find a lot of junk, but sometimes you find some interesting stuff too. Nichols in the UK, there's a castle in the town next to you. You can still see the holes made by the muskets in the Civil War. Wow. Yes, so many Northerners. You would be surprised, though. I had one live. You want to talk Northerners? They were almost all Canadians. I think I was one of the only people in the U.S. in that live. That was really funny. George Igor, who are we saying goodbye to? Steve Molesky. He passed a number of weeks ago now, by about 3 weeks. But they just had his memorial service today. Timing wasn't right, and then there was Easter, and so it got pushed back a little bit. So Jen, through Surviving the Cracks, that's ours, Between the Cracks, on her channel, Between the Cracks, she live streamed it So the service is available on there. And my stream came up pretty much right afterwards. So we were discussing him for a little while, and then just discussing grief and living and letting go of the things that we can't control and how hard that can be, especially when it's letting go of the grief, getting to that final stage where you can kind of let go of the grief. You're not getting rid of the memory of the person, but you're being able to remember them in a happier light and more content with yourself. Cold Cracker Mountains or Poconos? All right, Tree. I expect pictures. I'm so excited. What kind of pie are you making? Are you making savory pie or dessert? I don't remember. That should be awesome. Is anybody else getting pie? It's a quiche. Oh, wonderful. Now, see, there's a different idea. Do a pie, but a quiche pie. We're doing pizza pie, but I do want to do regular pie. Anybody else? Pies are for Steve, by the way, for those of you who don't know. I would love to hear what your favorite pie is, if you have one. Underground is not a pie, Todd. I'm asking for pies right now. I don't know. Well, I told you turtle pie. I mean, that's just like, you can't go better unless it's Black Forest cake, which doesn't translate into pie well. I suppose you could have like a mousse, chocolate mousse, and put cherries on it and do kind of that way. That would be interesting to make. A Black Forest pie. I think we could do this. Just do a chocolate mousse with like chocolate graham cracker crust. Now that would be, now peanut butter pie with the chocolate graham cracker crust. Yum. Yum, yum, and yum. I guess to say I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter flavored anything. Your husband is going through a venison pie phase. He's eaten 3 in 3 days. Nicola made butternut squash curry. Yum. Nicola, you made chapatis? How do you know how to make chapatis? I love chapatis and curry. I mean, I get it. It makes sense, you know. UK was over them for so long. I lived in Kenya for a while, and I fell in love with the curry over there, and chapatis are like one of my favorite types of bread items to have with meals. Absolutely love it. Turkey soup, yum. Yeah, it's been ages since I've made them. Now, do you use chapati flour? Oh, yeah, the spinach feta phyllo pie. Spanakopita. I'm going to say that really slow. You're officially jealous you haven't had any good venison since your brother passed. I take it he was the hunter in the family. There is, wow, the hunting in Michigan, the deer have just, we're in definite overpopulation territory. I'm not sure how many tags they're giving you, but it's a number. It's a number of them. You do use chapati flour. Okay, yeah. Chapati flour and water. And I learned to make them as rolling the dough into kind of a thin tube and then making it a swirl and then rolling that flat. I don't know how you do the dough, but that's how I was taught. Best beef stew you ever had was a moose stew. Huh. That is interesting. Oh, my fingers are a little swollen. That was hard to get that ring off. Not many benefits to living in South Africa, but the meat here is still pretty good value and good quality. You don't eat meat, so you go for a fish pie. Never had a fish pie, to be honest with you. Just need to know how to work with the phyllo. Yeah, I would imagine. I have made baklava before, and that was really good. Best chili you've ever had was venison. My friend makes a venison, vegetarian venison. I know that sounds it's an oxymoron, and it is, but it's because she uses so many vegetables in the chili as well, and it's really, really good. There's a winery where I live, and they used to in February's have cook-off. Um, you could taste their wine and their cider that they made there, and then they would have the way it's so they would have tables all around. And that was really, really yeah, sounds it does sound delicious. Now I'm hungry for baklava. Anything made with phyllo dough is good. A shepherd's pie made with haddock and prawns instead of beef, usually the cheese. Ooh, yum. That sounds good. If you're at home, you just use a rolling pin, but I'm in my van. I don't carry a rolling pin. It uses a similar method to what I described. Okay, yeah. Bison has 4 times more iron than beef. Wow. Wow. I have those protein balls on order. I'm so excited to get them. I'm giving them to my son for him to get some protein, extra protein. Hopefully he can put on some weight, put on some muscle. Doctor's orders. I would imagine moose. I've never had elk or anything. I've had crocodile. I've had antelope. Trying to remember what else was on that plate. So there's this place called the Carnivore, and totally tourist restaurant, but they raise animals just to call them for the restaurant. And it's on the outskirts of Nairobi, Kenya. And we went there for Thanksgiving, all of the Americans that were in our group. So we went there for Thanksgiving. So all the guys got these. I got a wood-fired pizza, but I did taste from everybody. So I had a lot of different types of things you would never. Crocodile's not good, not guys. It tastes like fishy fat. The consistency kind of, I did not like it. You want the balls for the opposite reason, to lose weight. Yeah, it can be done for both. I'm hoping that I have a hard time eating meals and things. So when I do, it's tend to be the easiest thing, and so it's usually carbs that I'm grabbing. So to be able to grab that instead and be getting all my protein for the day, that's wonderful. What I don't know is I know the bags are like this big or something, but I don't know how many actual balls are in that because you need 60. So I don't know how long a bag's going to last. We'll see. Oh, wow. Jana, a friend of hers, was the manager for Ted Turner's huge Montana ranches, and they had lots and lots of bison there. You've had crocodile and ostrich before, Yadrigor says, before you stopped eating meat. The croc was like fishy chicken. Maybe it was just the croc that we had, but some people were saying chicken, but to me it was, the consistency was just more like fat. Maybe I got a fatty piece of this. Yeah, but it did taste fishy. It's weird. very strange. You like alligator? Well, crocodile, they are different, so I don't know how different they taste. Your sister lived near a bison farm, Donna says. That's interesting. Cool. Well, guys, we're just past an hour and a half. I think we're making pizzas. Muktuk is good. I have no idea what muktuk is, Sandy. It's a long time ago, so you think the crock was a biltong jerky? Huh? Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, this was a fresh. You've been a vegetarian for 30 years and a vegan for 3. Strangest thing you ate before you stopped eating meat was reindeer. It was like cured leather. Wow. I have had bison, buffalo, and I think I had elk once. I do believe. I have not had moose. Actually would like to try it just to say I've tried it. Try reindeer just to say I've tried it. And yeah, say not anything I anticipate myself getting into or cooking a lot, just because I don't eat a lot of meat in general, which is part of the protein problem. I did come back from Kenya as a vegetarian. I will say that I was a vegetarian for a while. I wasn't getting enough iron. My iron got really, really low, I guess. But there were these little chickens that were like babies that were outside our dorm, and we watched them grow, and it just became really hard to think about eating meat after that. And their ground beef there, their beef, they don't have really cattle, like beef cattle. Their cattle are very lean without a lot of meat on them. So it was funny. My last day there, I made the family I was staying with, because the dorm shut down. It was Christmas break, and I was leaving. I was going home for Christmas. And the family I was staying with, I made spaghetti sauce, but it was just vegetarian, but I made it from scratch. They were flipping amazed. They kept asking me, "There's no meat in here?" Because they just use the meat really as flavoring, not to eat the meat as much. And I'm like, no meat. And I was just like, wow. They had no idea that something without meat could taste that good. So that was pretty fun. You had an ostrich egg omelet. It was big, I imagine. Wow. Now, did the ostrich egg taste any different? I've had pheasant eggs, I think, or maybe it was a quail eggs. I've had quail eggs. You'll try anything until you don't like it. Your husband's Iranian and you cook for him. Persian food is heavy in rice and stews. Yeah, I bet. About the same. Yes, now I'm hungry too. Just why I'm going to end this live for whale. Who got whale? You've eaten whale, Sandy? I must know what this tastes like. Whale. Yes, email to me. I would be happy to pass it on. Yep, happy to pass it on to anybody who wants it. Quail egg. Yep, me too, Janet. Quail eggs. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Oh, Donna, you love cooking. I like cooking with somebody. I don't like just going into the kitchen anymore and just cooking. And I like cooking with somebody. It's, kind of fun that way. Fun for me. Quail eggs, turkey eggs, peacock eggs, they all taste the same. I guess so. I imagine ostrich and emu probably taste pretty similar. Well, guys, it's been wonderful hanging out with you today. Wednesday, I'm not sure what our topic will be, but I will have a topic to speak about. And we'll get into a little bit more trauma stuff then. Today was just kind of a decompressed day. It was nice, wonderful just to talk with all of you and to try and let go of some of the grief. Donna, you can send me food anytime. Anytime. I'd be interested. What do Iranians do for dessert? Donna, what do Iranians do for dessert? I'd be interested. Your ex was Polish. Oh, Donna, I'm Polish. Well, half Polish anyway. Ugh. If I pay for shipping, will you cook me stuff? Like fishy tofu. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Yeah. All right, Janet. Bye-bye. Well, guys, I'm going to sign off too. And I love each and every one of you. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for spending this time with me. Whether you were lurking and listening and doing some other things, or whether you were active here in the chats, yes, pierogies, absolutely. I visited Jen and we went out and got pierogies because she lives in the Polish neighborhood. So good, so good. Miss good Polish food. There's like a couple of places in Grand Rapids where I live, but I don't know. Even though they're 100% Polish, I just don't prefer what they make. They make good kielbasa. I say that, but I don't really like their pierogies as much. So we'll have to make those. Yum, yum, yum. Remember, guys, I see I'm going to say we. We see you. We hear you. We believe you. Because that's what this channel is all about. It's about supporting each other. Always remember, you are worthy. You are strong. You are valuable. You are beautiful. Just the way you are. And you are loved. I love each and every one of you so much. The connections I have made truly have enriched my lives. And I'm so thankful that I have gotten to meet and speak with every one of you. So that'll end it for now. Hugs and love, guys. Hugs and love from me. And I will see you live on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Toodles. Pie for Steve.